Welcome back, everyone, to episode 5 of season 7, and it doesn't get bigger than this in the regular season. We got two 13-2 teams going head-to-head here with a lot on the line. A first-round bye is at stake here. And yeah, it's not a Super Bowl bid, okay, or it's not the Super Bowl itself, but as far as regular season games go, there's no game that I don't think anybody would be willing or would rather watch than two 13-2 teams going head-to-head in the last week of the season with that number one spot on the line. So I think it's going to be a good one, and I'm hoping that we come out with the win here. Now, it does say that we have the Z, which says that we have home field advantage locked up, but I don't understand why it's saying that right now, because if the Chiefs win this game, then they have the better record at 14-2, so they'll have that number one spot. So, I mean, maybe it's just predicting the future and telling us what's going to happen. I'm cool with that. I'll go ahead and take that win here and get that number one seed. I did have a viewer request that I show season stats. So after this video, I'm going to patch in just me going through the season stats real quick and talk about how players did. That way you can see kind of the production. Probably something I should have done in the past years. Didn't even think about it. And since someone says, hey, I want to see this, cool, I'll put it in there. Anyway, I'm going to stop talking so we can get to this highly anticipated game. Enjoy.
Tonight, from Oklahoma City, it's Sunday Night Football on EA Sports. It's the Oklahoma City Nighthawks taking on the Kansas City Chiefs.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Oklahoma City Nighthawks. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
Here we go. The final week of the NFL season. Week 17 is underway. And this carries into the end zone. And he opts to not bring this one out. The first drive will start at the 25. The KC offense set to go, led as always by the gunslinger, a former MVP in this league. It's Patrick Mahomes.
In his stat line last week, that's not going to get him to the Pro Bowl. All right, no touchdowns, no interceptions, but they won. And so the bottom line for him is team won, managed the game effectively, led them to victory. He's doing all the right things.
Now a pass that's taken in by Hill. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 13 yards on the game's opening play.
13 yards. First down, Kansas City.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Working from the gun, Mahomes sliding out of the pocket. He's going to take off with it. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you try.
Hit from behind, and he's going to be driven down. Joey Bosa in there to get him sack number 14 for him on the year.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
And a few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. From the gun, it's Mahomes. And that is incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on third down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on third down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
36 yards on the punt with no return. And out will come the offense as they take over. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And they will be led out by their 6'4" quarterback.
Partner, do we still count this as the holiday season?
A little bit of a gray area, but I think you can.
Okay, well, we just passed it, right? Well, the gifts keep coming to our guy, don't they?
They do.
I mean, think about this now. Clinch the playoff spot. Offensive player of the week in Week 16. I think he's going to keep going. I think he's going to keep firing away. I don't think they pull back at all.
Yeah, and everybody for them rounding into form right now. A check on the numbers for Chubb from a week ago. 13 carries, 77 yards.
He's the number 2 runner in the league, and you just know the offensive line wants to get him to number 1 because most of the good ball carriers, they take care of their linemen. Could be a gold watch in their future if he becomes a leading rusher.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And he'll be out of bounds at the 25-yard line.
It's a gain of 4. Brings up 3rd and 3.
From the gun on third down. Shorts. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
On 4th down, Matt Hawk to punt it away. Tyreek Hill back deep for Kansas City. He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. Taking it about the 36. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And it's Chiefs football, 1st and 10. So the Chiefs offense heads out. There's a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. And the division title, that's out of reach. We know that. This is as good a spot, Charles, as they're going to get. That first wild card and the number 5 overall seed.
Partner's not out of the question, especially with the 7 seeds that they have now in the playoffs. If you do win and the other wild card teams win in the first round, you could find yourself in a home game in the divisional round. Now, we know that's not likely, but it's not out of the question. Bottom line, you have to win to put yourself in that position.
On 2nd and 9, Mahomes. And he will find his man on the end round. Complete.
Complete to his wideout. It's a gain of 8. And it brings up 3rd down.
Edwards-Helaire, they'll try to run for it. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for. One of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
Here's Jordan Berry now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And a great job here. This is going to turn out to be a beauty. This is marked down at about the 3-yard line.
3-yard line.
So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? You know, back and forth like that? That definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
And as this offense makes their way back out, NFC playoff race time, we give you a look at what's going on there. And you can see it's no race for the top spot. That's been decided. These guys will hope to get through Week 17 in one piece before they host a division round game in 2 weeks' time.
And I think that what they'll do is they'll be very selective about who plays in this game, all right? There's certain guys that maybe are starters, but maybe haven't played as much as other guys during the year. Maybe they still need their timing back. Other guys, you're going to put bubble wrap and put them on the sidelines and tell them we'll see you in 2 weeks.
And they'll get him down up past the 15. 11 yards there, first down. A lot of running backs, a little bit of a disadvantage when you start talking MVP. Might not be the case this year. You think he's got a shot, don't you?
I do. I think he's got more than a shot. But what he's going to need here down the stretch this late in the season, he needs that big closing game, that game that we're all going to reflect on and go, oh, my goodness, did he put up a number, let's say 200 plus?
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. From the gun, Swartz, man open, that's Henry Ruggs. And he'll be out of bounds right around the 20. They'll contain him to just 4. Second down.
4 yards on the pickup.
Off the play fake. Schwartz, he'll let this go deep for Ruggs. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Reception here by Ruggs. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game, but it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
Here's Matt Hawk now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. KC's offense ready to take over. Even though they might not find the number 1 seed next to their name come playoff time, there's not going to be very many teams, if any, entering the playoffs on the kind of run they're on. They're hot.
And I love that word, hot, because every team in the league wants to go into the playoffs on that uptick. Because a lot of the time you serve notice to the rest of the league that, hey, we're the team you need to deal with. We're the team that's going to be a real problem for you. And if they can continue this streak, they can very well be that team and gain that confidence that they're seeking as they head to the playoffs.
And confidence, that's the word I would use from our meetings with them. They said we're playing our best football right now. It is showing. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
And we have to give credit to them for buying time and extending the play. But you know there's some really upset defenders on that one. They thought that they had him. Instead, he was coated in Teflon and got away.
A gain of 4. It's now 2nd.
From the 45 on 2nd down. Mahomes out of his hands quickly to Higgins. 70th catch for him on the year. And like so many others, this goes for a 1st down. Now a carry for Edwards-Helaire. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
Brings up 2nd and
on 2nd down, a run with Edwards-Helaire. And he'll get this down only to about the 46.
Not the kind of game that we'll go absolutely crazy for, but it's the kind of game that you need to have when you're running back in the NFL. And Clyde Edwards-Helaire with that low center of gravity and strength, he's going to get those tough, gritty yards for you when necessary.
No rope, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
a loss of 3 yards.
And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Man, that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's a really difficult task.
Here's Jordan Berry now as he's on to punt for Kansas City. And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. And a fair catch called for and made at the 12-yard line. No return, but it goes down as just a punt of 31 yards. And the offense will come back out deep in their own territory. The OKC offense ready to set up shop again. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up the first down and change our momentum?
A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Handoff comes to Chubb. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. And a nice carry there of 15 yards. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. But also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
And he finds his target. It's Schultz. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. A gain of 6 there on first.
6-yard pickup.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. And he'll only get a yard, maybe 2, up to the 46.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough and run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
And he's going to be taken down here, still a couple yards short of the first. And now it looks like we're going to get a timeout here. We've got a man shaken up. And in Week 17, let's hope this won't affect him for the playoffs. We'll step aside. Here's Matt Hawk now, as he's on here to punt it away. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And this one goes angling out of bounds, and it will be spotted inside the 30-yard line. Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over. The results for them so far not that great. Well, not good at all. 3 drives, 3 punts.
Yeah, and now what you're doing is you're looking at your play sheet. You're trying to figure out what you're going against defensively. I wonder, are they showing them something they haven't seen or anticipated in practice, and maybe that's throwing them off? Or do they just have to go to a different play calling section and try and run some offense that way? Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, helped their spot, and stacked him up.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Mahomes. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end.
Pass. Complete to number 89. It's a gain of 8. Brings up 3rd and
on 3rd down, here's Edwards-Helaire. And he's going to run into a brick wall right in the middle of the field, and I don't think he got there. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively, and it likely forces a punt situation on 4th. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom, quick, 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 and what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
Here's Jordan Berry now, as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. Calls for the fair catch, makes the fair catch just inside the 15-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The OKC offense ready to set up shop again. So far, they've had 3 drives, 3 punts. Not good.
Not good indeed, because you've got to have something to show for being out on the field. Now, sometimes, if you have a game where neither side has scored, 3 punts isn't a bad thing. But when you're
quick first down. On first down, they'll run with Chubb. And some room to maneuver. And they work this well upfield across the 35. We're scoreless after one.
With no score.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Operating from the gun. Swartz. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Schwartz. Throwing right, and that's complete. And he'll be brought down with a 1st down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 30. 22 yards there, a 1st down.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
So now 1st and 10 in Chiefs territory at the 30-yard line. A give. This is Chubb. And he's got about 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 25.
Tackled at the 25-yard line. It's a gain of 5. Brings up 2nd and 5.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Swartz.
Schwartz's pass intercepted by the Chiefs. They'll take over.
That was a really nice interception. I think it illustrates the differences between playing man and playing zone. When you're in man, all you're focused on is the receiver in front of you. But when you're in zone, you're allowed to read the quarterback's eyes and go to the ball. That's exactly what happened on that play.
And the Chiefs now getting set to go. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive. It's another zone defense. It looks like it's open for possibilities, but they did a nice job patrolling the middle of the field and forcing an incompletion.
Mahomes will try again on 2nd down. He'll find his running back, Edwards-Helaire, and he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6. They get 6. That'll leave him with 3rd and 4.
Oh, I came to my feet on that one. I thought he was getting close to breaking that one big, but in the end, give some credit to the defense, finding a way to get to him and forcing a 3rd down.
It's a gain of 6.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They go play action. Now Mahomes. Well, Mahomes can't get away, and down he goes.
Mahomes sacked. A loss of
That's 3 sacks now. That's not much of a surprise to me, nor should it be to you. This team, they lead the league in sacks.
Yeah, they do. This is something that we are starting to witness time and time again. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Now Mahomes. Throwing middle, and it's complete. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here.
It's a gain of 11. And it's 3rd down.
Throwing is Mahomes on third. And that will be incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early. And now it's fourth down.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. Here's Jordan Berry now, as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. 46 on his first kick, this one in that neighborhood as well. There's a nice move, and shedding through the tackle. It's a 40-yard punt, 6 yards on the return.
At their own 29-yard line.
The OKC offense ready to set up shop again. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate, and of course they'd like to forget the ending, the interception, but they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know what, a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down.
Brings up 2nd and a yard at the 37-yard line.
They go with Chubb on second down. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
1st and 10 at the 40-yard line.
Throwing on first down. Schwartz. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end.
Schwartz.
They'll contain him to just 4. Second down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6.
At the 44-yard line.
Chubb will get the call running left. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. It's a pickup of 17 and a first down.
That's a nice run right there, able to get to the outside, and so many times defenses say, okay, we got you hemmed in. But if you're running the football, at least you know where everyone is coming from. You don't have to worry about the backside at all. That allows you to run with a little bit more confidence as you traverse down the field.
So now 1st and 10 in Chiefs territory at the 39-yard line. They run again on first down, Chubb. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
He's brought down at the 31. 8 yards on the pickup. Brings up 2nd and 2.
To throw on second down, Schwartz. Got an open man, it's Rhodes. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
1st and goal from the 6. They'll run with Chubb. He gets it forward for 4, maybe 5, but the flags fly. And this one could be coming back. So on the big tight end, hold it.
Each and every year, we talk about very few tight ends coming into the league that are polished blockers or asked to do it a lot in college. So it's a constant struggle and a constant fight. You learn how to do it without holding.
And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. 13 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up a 2nd and goal. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. Nick Chubb, his 17th touchdown now on the season, as his guys are on the board first here tonight. And he was excellent on that drive. He deserved to be the one to get across the chalk.
Oh, I agree with you totally. A workhorse on the drive, and how about that last decisive run to punch it in?
On for the extra point. It's up and good, and it'll give his guys a 7-0 lead. So that drive in total 8 plays. And Nick Chubb, the one to finish it off, as he does so with a touchdown run. is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will make it into the end zone, and this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25.
25-yard line.
Set to take over, Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to him.
Has to find a way to step around it, step through it, or just handle it. Because, as you mentioned, he's having a pretty good day overall. Just the hits keep coming and taking those sacks. That's not the way that they want to finish a ball game with their quarterback on the ground so much.
And he'd like to stay upright. When he's been upright, he's been pretty good. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Hill, the intended receiver once again, but it'll be second down.
It's now 2nd and 10 at the
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Mahomes. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. A gain of 13. It's a first down.
As a passer, you're always trying to find that open window to throw the ball downfield. How about this one? Right in the middle of the field, right in the heart of a defense.
Mahomes firing complete. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
To number 89.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3.
2nd and 3 at the 40.
They'll run. It's Edwards-Helaire. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
They really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
Here's a throw right side, taken in by his tight end. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
It's a gain of 8.
I know that halftime's approaching, but I don't think he's going to want to take a break. That's his 5th catch.
Yeah, they've really been targeting the tight end. More muscle up front for this 2nd and 2. They've got 3 tight ends out there. Mahomes going to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down.
Kansas City.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll run here with Edwards-Helaire. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
The tackle made by Joey Bosa. It's a pickup of 6. Brings up
from the 29. Mahomes. He's going to go down here. A sack. They push him back to the 34.
Loss of 5 yards. And it's...
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. The Chiefs on 3rd down. They've had their troubles. Just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 9. And he's going to go down again.
A loss of 5 yards. And it's 4th down.
Well, how about that? A dime set on defense. 6 defensive backs. None of them blitz. They're just back there in coverage. Defensive lineman gets the sack.
That's where the O-line, they go to the sideline, they keep their helmets on so the cameras can't find them, right?
Yeah, the cameras can't find them, but I know one thing. The O-line coach will.
So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. This will be from 56 yards out. And this won't get there. Won't be on line either. It's no good. Off to the right. And this score will stay right where it is.
7. Chiefs, nothing.
The offense trots back out there. Let's turn our focus now to Nick Chubb. He's already cruised past the 100-yard mark. We haven't even gone away for halftime yet.
He might not want halftime. All right, why cool off?
Keep everybody here.
Let's stay out on the field and keep going. But all that being said, everything is really working well for them. The play calling's been excellent. The blocking's been terrific. And obviously his vision and legs have hurdled him to this big number so far. We could be seeing something really special here.
And we'll see how much they give him the ball here. That's the danger, Charles, of running plays like this for your wide receiver. They can hit big or they can be duds.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that, because if they're forced to try and go around defenders behind the line of scrimmage, sometimes you can give yardage in order to gain it. But in this case, they gave yardage and didn't get it back.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. A run for Nick Chubb. Fights through him. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
Good. It's a gain of just a couple there, but it's enough to get them the first.
1st and 10 at the 42-yard line.
Two minutes on the clock, 2nd quarter, 7-0 ball game. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. Now this one complete on the slant route. And he will take this one in for a touchdown. Big play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And his guys are going to add on to their lead.
If you didn't know it, it won't surprise you to find out that this team leads the league in scoring. They've been a quick strike team all season long. There's another example. They did it again. This offensive coordinator, right now, he can write his ticket towards being a head coach. He's advanced in the ways of offense.
And it's good to make it 14-0. At each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
25-yard line.
The KC offense and Clyde Edwards-Helaire getting the ball back here. And looky there. He's getting close to 1,000. I'm sure he knows where he stands. I bet if the offensive line didn't know, he made sure they knew. I'm closing in, guys. Final week of the season.
You know who really informed the offensive line? The offensive line coach.
Okay.
Because it's a big deal for his unit as well to be able to say, hey, we escorted guys to 1,000 yards or more in a season, just like Brock.
And he will be hit from behind and run over. Wow. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Now the rookie 2nd-round pick. This is Cam Akers. Now a 2nd timeout called for by the defense as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here's Jordan Berry now as he'll come on to kick for a 6th time tonight. Fair catch taken just inside the 40-yard line. 36 yards on the punt with no return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Here he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. Yeah, they have had success on the ground, really as a team, doing well carrying the football. So maybe a little less pressure on his shoulders as the quarterback.
Any pressure he's carrying right now, that's self-inflicted, right? He's taking it on. He doesn't need to. Continue to do what you just said. Let everyone else carry the football. That's been effective. Don't have to worry about him throwing the ball in all the situations now. That's got to be a good feeling if he just relaxes and lets it keep coming to him.
Yeah, and relax and enjoy the 2nd quarter lead right now. In need of only about the length of the football here on 2nd down. And now a throw here secured by his running back out of the backfield. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down.
That was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? 2nd and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the 1st down, and that's exactly what he did.
They'll get this to Chubb out of the backfield. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. From the gun, Schwartz dumps this to his running back, Chubb. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 11 yards there, 1st down.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Flushed and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Now a timeout signal for, they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. So on 2nd down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. From the right hash, it's a 46-yard attempt. And this one is right down the middle. And the lead will grow. It's now 17-0.
17. Chiefs, nothing.
So a big play before the end of the half to get him into this spot, and they cash in with 3.
How about the 1-2 to the solar plexus on that one? The big play, the field goal, not much time left on the clock. That's the way to go into the half.
The Chiefs take over 1st and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
Well, the white flag coming out as they line up to kneel on it. He'll take the knee, and the final couple seconds will tick by in this 1st half. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17 as we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Let's get you caught up on what's going on around the NFL. We'll begin up at Bank of America Stadium in Uptown Charlotte, where it was definitely a game with some intrigue, as you can see by the scoreline. Michael Thomas, a strong performance there. From there, we head down to sunny Miami to check on the Dolphins at home at Hard Rock Stadium. And they were losers in their ball game as they were outplayed by the visiting New York Jets. Miles Sanders, a touchdown run in the victory. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the 2nd quarter. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth 1st half. Who can put it together in the 2nd half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the 2nd half of Week 17 is underway. And we'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
1st down and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
The OKC offense ready to set up shop again. They built a good 1st half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the 2nd half. Nice 1st half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the 2nd half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively.
It's now 2nd and 6.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Schwartz over the middle into traffic, and that's complete. 2 catches in the 1st half. Now he's got a 3rd here, and it's good for a 1st. On the ground, it's Chubb. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39.
Down at the 39-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and 8.
They run it again with Chubb. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop.
The tackle made at the 44-yard line. That's a gain of 5. Brings up 3rd and 4.
From the gun on 3rd down. Schwartz. Guy's connection complete to Ruggs. And he will have the first down as he gets this to the 47. It's a first down, his 4th catch of the game after having 3 in the first half.
Has a pretty good throw on the curl route there. 3rd down, and they pick up a first.
Defense should be aware for that, right?
They should be aware, but it was so hard sometimes.
Yeah, it's not easy.
Because when they sell that route really well, you think they're going upfield, then they curl back, show their numbers to the quarterback, and complete the play.
So now 1st and 10 in Chiefs territory at the 47. Off play action. Swartz. And he's got the hook up to Ruggs. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. Giving back-to-back catches now. That one for 16 and another first down.
Well, that was a fun one to watch right there. A nice in-breaking route and plenty of room in the middle of the field. And he was able to get behind the linebackers and grab the completion for a really good pickup.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Schwartz firing quickly here, and that's complete. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
A gain of 5.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. Operating from the gun, Swartz. And he will find his man on the outside. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down about the 21 or 22. 60 catches for him now on the year. This last one, a first down. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that and try to get more pressure off the passer.
And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call. You can see this quite a bit on running plays with the guys out wide. A lot of times it doesn't get caught.
You're exactly right, because it's away from the play usually, so a lot of it goes undetected. But I know this will surprise you. I coach some receivers in the offseason. We work a lot on hand placement and blocking downfield. Might want to take that course. Normally being a big-bodied receiver plays to their advantage downfield. Go up and make the catch, take the hit, and pick up yardage. But in this case, the hit was timed really well and popped it free from his grasp. One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver, where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a first down.
So put another 3 on the board. All things considered, a good opening drive to begin the 3rd quarter.
And as a defense, the way that this game is going, you're excited to see those points go on the board. Gives them a little bit of leeway to play with when they're out on the field, but they're real excited to see their offense score. Now they get to go out there and do their part.
So here's the Chiefs offense ready for their first reps in half number 2. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. They'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's 3rd down. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. And that gain of 9 buys gives them a new set of downs.
Chiefs.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
Now Edwards-Helaire. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll bring up a second and just about a few inches here. Options galore here. Second and a few inches. Here's Edwards-Helaire. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a first. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. First and 10.
Chiefs.
Flushed out right. And he's going to keep it here. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there at second down.
Brings up second and 7 at the 42-yard line.
Looking to throw again on second down. Mahomes. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. 11 yards there. First down.
First down, Kansas City.
On first and 10, here's Mahomes. And his throw is going to be incomplete. He was trying to get it to Tyreek Hill that time. But it's going to be second down.
Derwin James on the coverage.
Now a handoff here to his running back. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves him with 3rd and 9 looming.
You know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Pretty solid gain of 7 yards that time as he scrambled, but now they face a 4th down.
I like this effort there. He got it done on his own, but let's face it, he puts defenses in a really stressful spot when he takes off and runs because a lot of guys have coverage responsibilities.
Good job of rounding, though, because I thought when he first took off, he might pick up the first down. And he gets this down to the 18, good enough for a first down. Well, they deemed it 4-down territory, and they got 4 yards to pick up the first. Remember, that was 4th and a full 2 yards. There's a big difference between that and 4th and maybe 6 inches or a yard.
Yeah, you're exactly right, because when it's that 6 inches, you just fall forward and you pick it up, right? You just go quarterback sneak. But having to move bodies, that means you actually have to execute because they know what you're going to do. How are you going to make the right play call and get everyone into the right spot and win at the line of scrimmage? That's what they did there.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's second and a couple. And to give this time to the tailback. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. Give him 2 yards. That sets him up. First and goal. First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. That is caught at the 7-yard line. They'll get this halfway home from the 8 to the 4 on a gain of 4. They'll contain him to just 4. Second down. Throwing again on second down. Mahomes. And that is caught for the touchdown. Kansas City. From 4 yards out. And the Chiefs are able to cut into this lead. On those slants, everything happens so quickly. What makes it work?
The timing between the passer and the receiver. In this case, a slant route ordinarily is probably about 3 steps before you go on the slant. In this amount of time, I think it was a 2-step deal. Boom, put his foot in the ground and got inside for the pass.
Got inside for the pass, got inside for the catch and the score. That is good, and that'll make it 20-7. That drive a long one, spanning 15 plays. And it's capped off with a Kansas City touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line.
At their own 25-yard line.
The OKC offense ready to set up shop again. Their lead down to 2 scores after the touchdown a moment ago as they start with a 1st and 10. On first down. Schwartz. And he gets it to his running back, Nick Chubb. No gain, and it's second down. Third quarter action here in this regular season finale. This will be 2nd and 10.
At the 25-yard line.
Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
2-yard pickup.
And they're left looking at 3rd and 8 after the second down pass play only went for 2. And that is incomplete.
Love the idea, love the concept, but you got to leave a little room on the sideline so he can fade into it when he makes the catch. That was thrown too close to it for the receiver to make a play.
It's a 44-yard punt, just 3 on the return.
Take over 1st and 10.
And now here comes Kansas City. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2-minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10, just shy of the 30. And he works his way forward for a couple up past the 30.
The tackle by Derwin James. A gain of 2. Brings up 2nd and 8.
From the 31, Mahomes toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
84.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down.
Yards to go.
Being chased out left. And this play comes to a halt at the 33, and obviously that's well short of the first down. He opted to go with a scramble, gets 2 yards, and now it's 4th.
And they had an extra defensive back on the field on that play, and the coverage was excellent. He tried to pull it down and run for it, but they rallied to him and kept him short of a first down.
Here's Jordan Berry now, as he's on to punt for Kansas City. Fair catch called for and made right at the 25-yard line. 37 yards on the punt with no return. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. And the passing game, I mean, look at the numbers. It's fallen off. When a team is struggling, sometimes you look at the quarterback. When the quarterback starts to struggle, who goes over and picks him up?
Yeah, that's always a big one, isn't it? Usually, there's a quarterback whisperer somewhere. And what I mean by that is, whether it's an assistant coach, whether it's one of his best friends on the team, someone that can get in his ear, get with him and say, all right, well, man, what do you need? What's going on here? There's always one person he can lean on. He's going to have to lean on that guy right now.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Now Chubb. And he'll take this one across the 45 up to about the 46-yard line. It's a gain of 3 on what will be the final play of this 3rd quarter.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. So now 1st and 10 in Chiefs territory at the 45-yard line. They run. Chubb. And for one of the first times all night, he is going to go nowhere as they bury him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Behind the chain, 2nd and 12. From the gun, Schwartz. And he's got it. Got his man on the end route. Complete. And he'll be brought down with a first down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 34-yard line. A gain of 13. It's a first down. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Chubb. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage.
Right at the line of scrimmage.
No gain on the play there, second down.
Brings up second.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
11 yards there, first down.
First and 10 at the 23-yard line.
On first and 10, Schwartz. Quick hitter here, it's complete. 3 yards the gain there, second down. Second and 7 from the 20.
Brings up second and 7.
Operating from the gun. Schwartz. He loves the intended receiver, but now it's third down. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on second down. And he's going to be taken down short of the first, right around the 15-yard line. Call it a gain of 5. 4th down now.
Another good run for him. What else is new? That'll put him right at 150 yards for the game, so he's really made his presence felt in this one.
The offense staying out. They're going to go on 4th and 2. Back to throw. Schwartz. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked up by the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. And he'll be brought down at his own 10-yard line.
They'll take over.
That is the play they needed in a 2-score game here in the 4th quarter.
No doubt about it. They did what they had to do to give themselves a chance to get back into the game. They turned it over to the offense. They are now in charge.
Now they need to execute. KC's offense ready to take over. The interception was a great starting point, but now they need points pretty quickly, down 2 scores. So not quite a 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10. So after the INT, here's Mahomes rolling to his right. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. Now whistles here, and we've got a man down. Man down on the field. And in Week 17, let's hope this won't affect him for the playoffs. We'll step aside. Throwing on first down is Mahomes. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's going to have just a couple here with a marker on the field as well. That's on the former first-rounder, Taylor Decker. They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Mahomes can't get away, and down he goes. Defensively, you said coming in earlier in the broadcast, the magic number was 20 points for you. That's what you thought they would have to hold this offense to, or less than that. And, wow, they've done that in a big way, haven't they?
Not only have they done it, they put themselves in a great position to win this one because holding them down was paramount. If they could get it done, well, guess what? We see the end result. Right now, they have their eye on victory.
And leading here in the 4th. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and abundant. Steps away, and he's taken down. Back at his own 7. Joey Bosa, he continues to wreak havoc in the offensive backfield. Sack number 16 on the year.
Remember, throughout my career here in defensive coaches always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. Well, they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed. After the sack, things get a little tougher here. 3rd and long for Mahomes and the Chiefs. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Normally you think the tight end's going to be able to catch the football and handle that contact, but in this case, maybe a little too much target to hit. That one was timed well. Incomplete.
7 yards on the return after a punt of 39. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look. What we do know, Charles, they will be in the playoffs. They currently sit at pole position number 1, but nothing's set in stone right now. They still have to earn that top spot.
And it makes me reflect back to preseason when you and I do our tours of camps. The prevailing message in each and every one of them was what? Win the division.
Win the division.
Win the division. You know you're in the playoffs. It means something. It means a home game. It means a
and 10 at the 27-yard line.
Handoff comes to Chubb. Slipped one tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. Finally, defensively, they have a little clip to show positive for actually stopping him running the football.
It's been a really long night for them, hasn't it? So they get a little bit of a win there, but let's face it, the vision that he's had running the football has carried his feet to the open spaces and to big yardage all night long.
Second and 11 now. From the gun, Swartz. That's out to Chubb, complete. It's a gain of 9 yards. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect him to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
On 3rd and 2, Schwartz. That's complete. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way and worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. Operating from the gun, Swartz. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and goal.
On the carry, it's Chubb. And he'll be stopped up after only a couple of yards as he gets it down to the 5. A big play forthcoming. Here's 3rd and goal.
Pickup brings up
Looking to throw. Schwartz. Dancing. And he will score. It's a touchdown. A 5-yard touchdown run. And his guys find a way to stretch that lead. They were looking to pass the ball there, but they forgot to account for the man with the football.
Yeah, I can hear people right now saying, well, why don't you have a spy in your defense, someone who will dance with him and go where he goes? Well, oftentimes if you utilize a spy, you've taken away someone in coverage as well. And oftentimes, the spy, not as athletic as the guy he's trying to keep up with, so he gets defeated anyway.
And he turns 3rd and goal into a touchdown. The offense going to stay on the field as they will line up and go for 2. From the gun, Swartz. This will be caught at about the 5. And he is going to lose yardage here. And he is not going to get in there. He stops short of the goal line, and the lead is going to stay right where it is. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Now Pollard. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23.
at their own 23-yard line.
Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over. And after all those wins that they've reeled off, it seems that they finally have met their match in a big fourth quarter hole. But still, what a run it's been. It feels like they have not lost in forever. Now this window is running back out of the backfield. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down. Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time down 3 scores. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. And after the sack, he's still down on the field. And in week 17, let's hope this won't affect him for the playoffs. We'll step aside. Second and 10. Working from the gun, Mahomes. That's into the hands of Akers, complete. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
A 2-yard gain on the play.
And they're left looking at 3rd and 8 after the second down pass play only went for 2. From the gun, it's Mahomes. And that will be incomplete. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they've been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same Surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. The offense trots back out there. Let's turn our focus now to Nick Chubb. So after that hot start, the numbers here show the decline. What has the defense done adjustment-wise?
Sometimes when you have a running back who's getting off to a hot start, you've got to catch him before he really gets going. So you change what you do across the defensive front. Instead of the linebackers being back a few yards, you bring them up closer. It's what we call mugging the line of scrimmage, taking away a lot of blocking angles and gaps, and maybe stopping him before he can get going.
Mugging the line of scrimmage, okay.
Yeah, in this case.
At the 29-yard line. A gain of 4.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they're right at about the league average, 40%, 4 for 10. This is 3rd and 4. And he'll give it here to his running back. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. He needed 3. He got 2. Now that'll set up an interesting situation here on 4th and a yard.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
So now the field goal unit trots out there for the 3rd time tonight. This from 44 yards out, left hash. Badgley able to knock this one through, and that will extend their lead even further.
29, Chiefs 7.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
The Chiefs take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
And now here comes Kansas City. And last time, went for it on 4th, didn't get it. See if they can pick themselves up off the mat and do better this go-around.
Sometimes I have this vision of coaches writing notes to themselves before a game, and sometimes that note says, be aggressive, stay aggressive. Maybe that's what we saw in the last possession.
Yeah, they were very aggressive. This time, will it result in points? We'll find out. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
At the 20.
To throw again on 2nd down. Mahomes. Well, Mahomes can't get away, and down he goes.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
After the sack, things get a little tougher here. 3rd and long for Mahomes and the Chiefs. Throwing now is Mahomes. They'll set up the screen to Edwards-Helaire. And he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line. Boy, how good has this defense been seemingly all game long?
I really think right from the first snap, I think you're really onto something there. In this passing game, it just can't get off the ground. In that play, it wound up losing yardage.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. They'll go for it. It's Mahomes. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off around the 41. And they will finally put it into the return, but not until he takes it back all the way inside the 10-yard line. They had him back deep, got the interception. possession, and now they start inside the 10.
Partner forgets starting inside the red zone. They're inside the green zone. From the 10-yard line in, a lot of teams call it that because that's the money zone. Get it into the end zone and make your cash.
The OKC offense ready to set up shop again. And really, you can't have a better situation than this. First and goal at the 1. Suddenly, it's first and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up second and goal. He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly...
And he'll take it into the end zone for a touchdown. Nick Chubb, his second TD of the game and 18th of the year. And his guys capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6.
Well, there's just about a minute left in this game, and they're still taking it into the end zone. And you know they could have taken a knee there, but they decided to play this one all the way out. And I think their philosophy is, we're going to give you everything we've got. If we just go ahead and take a knee now, we're actually showing you disrespect that way, like taking pity on you. They're not about to do that to their opponent.
And that'll push the lead up to 29 now. Well, that drive started with not a whole lot of real estate in front of them. In plus territory, excellent field position. 2 plays later, pay dirt. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And he'll get it up just past the 20 as his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line.
At their own 21-yard line.
KC's offense ready to take over. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down.
It's third down.
From the gun on third down, Mahomes. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. And they're going to go for this. Just 1 for 3 so far on fourth down tries. They're trying again. And he comes back with 1 complete. The Chiefs now going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 ticks remaining on the clock. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on first and 10. Now it's Mahomes again. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. Now another timeout called for by the offense as the clock will stop with an even 20 seconds left to go. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's second and 10. Again, they'll throw with Mahomes. He'll find his running back, Edwards-Helaire. The Chiefs quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in the football game. They face a 3rd and 4 after that last completion gets them 6. And that's incomplete. Clock stops with 10 seconds left. Here's Jordan Berry now as he's on to punt for Kansas City. And a fair catch called for and made just outside the 15-yard line. They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and there'll be time for maybe one final play before we hit triple zeros. They will take the knee here, and they will finish this regular season with a victory.
Tonight's
So plenty of smiles for the folks here as they head for the exits. It's a victory for their hometown guys. And it was their defense that really paved the way to this victory as they allowed the one touchdown, and that was all she wrote.
Almost want to do the defense chant right now, right? Defense with a couple of claps in there, but no one wants to hear that from me. Let's just talk about how they got it done, though. When you take care of every aspect of the game, shut down the run, control the airways, right? Make sure the quarterback is harassed. This is the type of performance you get. They can't fashion together any offense, no consistency, and they just took control.
So for the home team here, a final win here means they'll finish at 14-2. And now they'll have the week off as they get set to go after a Super Bowl title. Meanwhile, for Kansas City, despite the loss, they're going to finish the campaign at a sterling 13-3. And they'll get their shot at playoff football as they'll be on the road next week as a wild card. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.
All right, welcome back after that game. I'm very impressed with how our team played, other than some of the play by Tyler Schwartz. He had a little bit of a rough game. High completion percentage and a lot of yards, but turned the ball over a lot. Nick Chubb dominated again. Our defense played awesome. I don't even remember how many sacks we got, so it was an awesome game. Also, they made a huge point at the end of that game of why this game was so important. We won this game, so now not only do we have home field advantage throughout the entire playoffs and a first-round bye. With the Chiefs losing this game, they have to play. They have the second best record in the AFC. They went 13-3. And they have to play in the wild card round on the road. That's a huge difference. Home field advantage in first round bye versus on the road in the wild card round. That's how big this game was. So I'm very happy that we were able to win it. Not only win it, but both games we played the Chiefs this year, we dominated them. And they're the second best team in the league. So I got to tell you, I'm excited for these playoffs. As I stated before the video, there were requests to see season stats, so I'm going to go ahead and kind of cut the video real quick and bring you in to go over the stats there. Okay, so we're here on the stats screen for the season stats. I think I'm also going to show career stats as well, just because most of the people on this team have played their entire career during this series. I think I had a couple people, like Nick Chubb, Myles Garrett, Desmond King, and Derwin James. Those players were on this team those players were in the league before I started this series, but they're still relatively young. We're talking 2 to 3 years in the league before they joined the team. So most of their career stats will have been in this series. So I'm going to show you season stats now, then career stats to kind of make up for not showing season stats in the past. So anyway, Tyler Schwartz this is his third year in the league. Okay yardage, okay touchdowns, okay interceptions. I'll take a 30-10 touchdown to interception ratio for a season, because that means that he's at least taking care of the ball, making some plays. Obviously, there's quarterbacks that have thrown 40, 50 touchdowns in a season. There's quarterbacks that throw less interceptions. But really, all I want of my quarterback is to not turn the ball over and to give the team a chance to win. Put the ball in the playmaker's hands. So it'd be great if he was slinging 55 touchdowns a year, but you don't have to do that and win. We went 14-2 this year, and he didn't even crack that 30 touchdown mark. So not a great year, but also not a bad year by any means by him. Over on the rushing front, Nick Chubb, legendary, man. As I said at the beginning of the series, that was my number one goal, to get him in here, build the offense around him. Real life Nick Chubb's my favorite player. As you can see, this is his 9th year in the league, and he's one of those top 3 overall, maybe 3 or 4 overall running backs but on 292 carries, he got 1,600 yards. That's averaging 100 yards a game. And he got 17 touchdowns, so that's more than a touchdown a game. You get that kind of production out of a running back, and your offense is going to be clicking. Even if it's not like, if you just have average quarterback play and average wide receivers, if you have a running game that can perform like Nick Chubb did this year, you're going to open up so much in your passing game despite the limited talent at wide receiver. So awesome year by him. Spencer Jones, he was injured for most of the season, so he didn't get a ton of carries. That and he's a receiving back, so you'll see a lot of his production in the receiving game. But still, being out half the year, he got almost 400 yards rushing and 4 touchdowns, so that's not bad. Braxton Edison is I can't remember if I drafted him or just signed him as a free agent. Never really expected him to hit the field, but 60 carries, 180 yards, not bad out of our third running back. The rest of the guys don't really matter for rushing stats, but Tyler Schwartz did run it in twice, and our fullback did get 4 touchdowns. So that's a lot of touchdowns for a fullback in today's NFL. Maybe not in the past. Receiving, Henry Ruggs, that guy we went out and got to try to open up our offense. Over 1,000-yard receiving, which is good. Keeps the ball moving. Only 6 touchdowns, though. I'm not sure. I feel like an elite level receiver should be getting, 10 to 16 touchdowns a year. So when I see 6 touchdowns, I feel like that's not enough. But he did have 1,000 yards receiving, which helped us move the ball. Sheriff McCollum, his stats are low, but I'm going to explain that in a second. So 774 yards, 4 touchdowns. He was out for, I think, 4 or 5 games. So you look at his average per game at about 60 yards a game, and let's say he was just out for 4 games. I think it was 5, but let's say he's just out for 4. That's an extra 240 yards he could have had, which would have put him at about 1,000 yards receiving. So for the time that he was on the field, he had a pretty decent year. Rayshawn Wynn, I'm a little disappointed by his production because he was there all season long, and he is a good tight end. So maybe he's just losing out on production because of how many weapons we have around the offense. D'Angelo Kitchens, like Sheriff McCollum, was out for a while. In fact, I think he was out for 6 games. His average per game, he was out 5 games. Sorry, it does say games played here, so Sheriff missed 3 games. So maybe he would have fell a little bit short of 1,000. And D'Angelo missed 5 games. So, 40 yards a game out of D'Angelo Kitchens is disappointing. He should be getting at least 70 yards a game. And the average per game, it doesn't even matter the games that he missed. That's just the games that he was in. He only put up 40 yards a game. So I'm very disappointed in his production this year. Hopefully that turns around next year. Kai Ali, a rookie, had a pretty good season as our 4th wide receiver, 400 yards. Now, granted, with all the injuries we had at wide receiver between Kitchens and McCollum, he was the 3rd wide receiver for at least half the season. So there was a little overlap. I think 1 game overlap where Kitchens and McCollum were out at the same time. So he had 1 game as a 2nd wide receiver, and then he would have had 6 other games as the 3rd wide receiver because of those injuries. So, maybe his production could have been better given that he was at least the 3rd wide receiver for a significant part of the season. But, as a rookie, gives him a chance to develop. Maybe in the next couple of years he'll have better production. Spencer Jones, again, out for most of the season, so he didn't get to rack up many receiving yards. Yeah. All right, blocking. Now, I've been telling you, we've been having really good years blocking. In past Maddens, every single year, regardless of how good the left tackle is, it always seems like they have 17 to 20 sacks given up a game. So I don't know if it's that way still in this Madden and we're just getting good play, or if they fixed some things or what. But our right tackle gave up 6 sacks the entire season, which is less than half of a sack a game. So when you look across the board here, In fact, where is our left tackle? So Eddie Jensen here, left tackle, 16 games played, gave up 1 sack. That is elite level play. Redmond's a backup, Sharper's a backup, Butler's a starter, 2 sacks given up. Brackets are starting. Actually, hold on. Who is? Yeah, Butler is our starting right tackle, but I do think he got hurt at some point. What is he? Yeah, okay, I'm sorry. Brackett is our starting right tackle, but he was hurt for a while. Well, I guess out for 3 games, so I don't know. Apparently someone missed some time because our backup right tackle was able to play 408 downs. So, yeah, our backup right tackle gave up 6 sacks. Starting right tackle gave up 3, so that's 9 sacks from the right tackle. Still not bad. So we got really good blocking for our passing game. It doesn't keep track of pancakes anymore, but still I think pretty well. On to defense. So we'll start with tackles. Our linebackers are leading our teams in tackles, which that front 7 are the people you want getting all the tackles, because if your secondary is getting the tackles, that means you're giving up a lot of chunk plays. So Desmond King getting 110 tackles, a little bit worrying. Derwin James being a run support, he comes up into the run game, so maybe not that bad that he got that many. But to see our 3 cornerbacks getting a lot of tackles, in fact, more tackles than our right outer linebacker or any of our defensive linemen, that means that they were getting the ball down the field a little bit. Maybe some of those tackles are on checkdowns or shorter routes. Routes. But it still means that they're moving the ball down the field, and our secondary is having to come up and make the tackle. For sacks, Bosa led the team with 16.5, so that's pretty good. Myles Garrett had a down year with only 12 sacks. Blackburn, 14 sacks. That's pretty good. He's a run-stopping defensive tackle that I'm starting to build up some power rushing for. So the fact that he's getting into the backfield, and maybe the fact that he got a lot more sacks is why Myles Garrett didn't get as many. Or a lot of teams are doubling Myles Garrett, which cut down his sacks, but opened up Blackburn to go get more sacks. Then we got McKenzie, Monroe, Smith getting a decent amount of sacks. But out of 3 of our 4 linemen here, getting into double digits for sacks, that's pretty darn good. Interceptions, Derwin James and Patrick Barnett, so our safeties, kind of leading the way with 3 interceptions. Our rookie, Charleston, grabbed 2 interceptions. That was early in the year. I think after, at least in the first half, I remember that he had the 2 interceptions. So the second half didn't really get that many. Maybe he got some extra playing time in the first half of the season and didn't see the field as much second half. But he did get more interceptions than either of our other 2 cornerbacks. So given our defense and how much pressure we put on the cornerback and how good our defensive backs are, kind of surprised that we don't get more interceptions. But we won 14 games, so I guess I can't complain too much, right? Let's see if anyone got any touchdowns. Okay, so Barnett and Smith got 2 touchdowns. None of them are fumble, or they didn't have any fumble recoveries, so those are pick 6. And I think this is huge right here. Most of our defense played every single game. You get down to J.C. Robinson, he's a backup. Manny Russell, backup. So yeah, it looks like every single one of our starters played in every single game. So the fact that they stayed healthy is probably one of the big reasons why we won 14 games this year. Kicking, Bagley, about 80% field goal percentage. Not terrible, but not great. Matt Hack, averaging almost 45 yards a punt. That's okay. And then kick return, no touchdowns. an average of less than a touchback, so probably not great kick returning. But the way that the league is now, they wanted to take the kick returns out of the game, so I feel like you probably see a lot of that. Punt returns, average of 5 yards. That's pretty decent, I think. I'll go through just to kind of compare against the league here, see where we're at. So as you can see, you get to that 42 to 47. 47. He's been a freaking legend since he's gotten the game. If you remember, I think he was drafted as like a 79 overall, but he was a mobile quarterback, so he wasn't someone I was interested in. But our guy's down here quite a bit. So not, I think it was like 12th or something like that. Touchdown-wise, he has 29, as you can see. There's a lot of quarterbacks that throw through more than him. I'd sort by interceptions, but it's going to show us a lot of zeros. I really wish they put like a minimum games played or minimum downs played on here for this. That way you could actually see how good your quarterback was. But we could sort by most interceptions, I guess, and see that our quarterback was about maybe the lower third of the league, somewhere around that 18 to 20th or so. Rushing, Ezekiel Elliott had 1,800 yards. That's crazy, but looks like we probably had the most touchdowns. So yeah, receiving, and let's see, where is Ruggs? There's Ruggs there. And that's probably about 8 to 10th or so in the league for receiving yards. So yeah, I guess to answer my question, I was thinking between 12 to 14 touchdowns a game, I think I said. And when you look here, the top in the league have that. So maybe what I thought should be average for that top tier is maybe I was a little above, or maybe I overestimated, I guess, what a wide receiver should have. What did Ruggs end up having? I think it was like 6, right? Yeah, so pretty low on receiving touchdowns, and he was our best receiver when it came to touchdowns, so I'm not even going to look up the other guys. Blocking, there's not really a way to compare our guys because, 67 downs played. Okay, good job. You gave up 1 sack and 67 downs. So, I mean, we could go like this, I guess, and look who played the most downs and gave up the least amount of sacks. See if our guys are anywhere in here. It looks like the Vikings had a heck of an offensive line. Okay, so 1 sack given up in 1,151 downs played. That's pretty darn good when you compare to everyone else here. And that's out of the left tackle position too. So, defensively, tackle-wise, Smith is a 3rd in the league. I think other guy's not too far behind him here. Yeah, more there. Sacks, we probably led, or almost led leads, I guess. Kenny Clark had 19. That's a lot, especially out of defensive tackle. Okay, where's our other guy at? We had 3 guys in double digits, but on here it's only showing one of our guys in the leaderboard. Interceptions. Like I said, I thought our cornerbacks should probably be coming up with more. As you can see, the league leader had 6. I would have loved to have some cornerbacks with 4 or 5, but we had a couple with 3. So yeah, that's season stats. Let me go ahead and go over to career stats, just so you can kind of see how they've been doing. So 3rd year in the league, and he's got about 12 or almost 13,000 yards passing. So that's a little over 4,000 a year, which isn't bad. Rushing, man, brain's a little off right now. 9,700 yards rushing on his career, 103 touchdowns. He's averaging a little over 80 a game, so not bad production out of him. Receiving wise, got 3 guys that are in the 5,000s here. All of them have been in the league for about the same amount of time. Henry Ruggs has an extra year. Then you got Sheriff McCollum shortly behind them. Blocking wise, it's sort by games played so we can see top guys. Now, if you remember, I think Redmond was a starter for us for like a little while, and then I brought in another guy that ended up taking the job away from him. But Brackett, starter, 26 sacks given up. Butler, a starter, only 13 sacks given up. So, not bad. All right, defensively, our team leader in tackles for their career is Desmond King, which, again, a cornerback leading the league in tackles, probably not what you want. Our strong safety, again, a run support safety, not that bad that he's up there. I would like to see some of the linebackers be higher, though. Granted, they haven't been in the league as long. We're talking 9 to 10 years for the top 3 tacklers, and then you drop down to 4 years for our middle linebacker here. Oops. Let's go back and look at sacks. Okay, so Myles Garrett, team leader in sacks at 128. You got Joey Bosa right behind him at 108. And then our defensive tackle is pretty significant drop down, around the 40 range. Monroe's been coming up and getting some sacks, though, so that's pretty good. And actually, like, these guys have almost half the games played as our defensive ends. So in terms of yearly production, they're probably not that far behind. Maybe a few sacks a year behind. So once they get up to that 9-10 years played, they'll probably be about the same boat as Joey Bosa. Yeah, I did it again. Interceptions. Okay, so Desmond King with 26 leading the way. And then our safeties. Our cornerback, or our second and third cornerbacks are pretty young. So hopefully they develop a little bit and can rack up the interceptions. So yeah. With such a young team, it's hard to see elite level stats for a career because they just haven't been in the league long enough. Kicking wise, Michael Bagley hasn't been with us that long, so 78% is about average. That's what he had this year, so we're getting his average play. Punting wise, Matt Hack has been with us for I think 5 years now. So about half of his career has been with us. Kick return wise, I don't like to put starters in kick return positions. So and I mean even that our team leader is less than a touchback. So yeah. So anyway, that's not only season stats but also career stats to make up for the last 6 years that I didn't do season stats. As you can see, our team is doing well, mostly young, but that means that we have a wide open window so long as I can afford to keep everyone. I think that we're going to start getting to a point where I need to make some tough decisions and let some players go in order to keep the more important ones. So we'll have to see. Bosa, I know I said before, when it's time to renegotiate his contract versus re-sign our quarterback, Bosa could be on the chopping block, even though he's been incredible for us in terms of production. So we'll just have to see where he's at in terms of his skills regressing when that time comes. Nick Chubb, I would love to keep him for his entire career. But at the same time, I'm not going to pay elite level talent money if he's maybe regressing into that, second or third level of running back. So, and that's my favorite player. So if I'm not willing to take care of my favorite player to overpay them just to keep them on the team, think about what I'm going to do for some of the other guys that aren't worth keeping in exchange for some of the guys that are. Got to make the tough decisions if you want to win. This isn't a feel-good business. This is a results business. So, you know. Anyway, that's all for this video. It's already going to be long enough, so I'm going to go ahead and cut it here. Next video is going to be the divisional round. I don't know who we're going to be playing yet. We'll have to see when the wild card round is over. Anyway, thank you for watching. Look forward to you supporting our team during the playoffs this year as we make another playoff appearance and try to win a Super Bowl. Have a good one.